She was like, your test for the COVID-19 was positive. Yeah, I couldn't believe it was positive. I survived, I recovered, I beat the coronavirus. Like, am I safe? I don't know. Hi, I'm Denise and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos on my channel, then welcome. Hopefully you stay tuned for my future videos and also subscribe. For everyone that's already seen my videos before, welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned and watching my videos. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how I tested positive and survived the coronavirus COVID-19. I'm going to be talking about my symptoms, the people I came into contact with. I'm going to be talking about what my nurses and doctor have told me. I'm going to talk about the treatments that I did, treatments that I took, and then I'm going to be talking about updates. So let's get started. So I'll just start off saying I'm not like the super healthiest person in the world. I don't really work out. I don't eat fruits and vegetables every single day. Like, I eat fast food here and there. So I'm not like the healthiest person alive. But I don't have any pre-existing conditions. So I feel like maybe that's why the virus wasn't so bad on me. But I'm just in my mid-20s, average health. I get sick a few times a year, the cold a few times a year, and that's pretty much it. So everyone knows what the symptoms that the news has been putting out about the virus. You'll have a loss of taste and smell. You'll have a fever out of nowhere, 103 to 104. Then you'll have trouble breathing, and then you'll have a dry cough. For those symptoms that the government or that the CDC, that whoever's talking about, I did not have those specific symptoms. I had runny nose. I had a dry throat. I did have a little cough, but it wasn't a dry cough. It's gonna be gross, but I could cough out mucus. Like, that's how I know it wasn't a dry cough. Unless there's a different definition of dry cough, then I don't know, but I did not have the dry cough. I did have like extreme migraines. I had a terrible migraine for literally 2 whole days straight. I was sick to my stomach. I was dizzy, lightheaded. When I first got these symptoms, I was just feeling under the weather. I didn't even think it was like a cold. When I first got these symptoms, I didn't even think of the coronavirus or didn't even think I had a cold or anything until I started getting the chills. I felt like I was freezing, super cold. At night, I would put on 2 pairs of sweatpants or 2 pairs of pajama pants, 2 sweaters, 2 fuzzy socks, 2 pairs of fuzzy socks, and then I would get underneath 3 thick blankets and I would still be laying there like freezing. That's how bad I had the chills. And I was like, dang, something must be really wrong if I have the chills like this. But I was looking at all the symptoms and everything on this coronavirus. It didn't match up. So I was like, okay, so I'm just sick. I don't have this coronavirus. But yeah, I was just freezing. I was literally freezing. We had the heat up. We had a space heater on. It felt like no heat was on. But like I said, it didn't match up to the symptoms that they're talking about with the coronavirus. I do know that the virus hits everyone differently, but I thought people would at least share the same 3 common symptoms, you know, the trouble breathing, the fever and the coughing. With the fever too, the highest that my fever ever went was 100.9, and my fever wasn't even 101 or higher. So that's pretty much it for my symptoms. I will go over a timeline a little later, but those are all the symptoms that I really had. So for my exposure and contact, I feel like I haven't really been going into contact with anyone really. I live at home with my husband and my baby, so I see them every day. I was working at a grocery store, just helping out, cleaning the door handles and everything. I only did that for about 2 weeks because they no longer needed help after that. So that was the only place I was really going. So let's get into the timeline now. So I was sick during the month of April. Tuesday, April 21st was the first night that I started getting symptoms. I started getting the chills. I started getting migraines. I started feeling sick to my stomach. And then that carried over to the next day, Wednesday, the 22nd. When I woke up and I was having the migraines, I took Tylenol. I was like, okay, this headache is like getting really bad. Like, killing my head. Like, it was terrible. Let me take some Tylenol. So I took Tylenol throughout Wednesday, 500 milligrams every 6 or every 8 hours. Took Tylenol at least 2 times when I started to get a fever and then runny nose and then the mucousy cough. I had that on Wednesday. When I took my fever, I was like, okay, so let me call the doctor. Let me make an appointment for this test. You know, I didn't think it was this virus, but I was like, let me just schedule this test to make sure I don't have it, or just to see, you know, what would happen or what the results would say. So yeah, on Wednesday, I scheduled the test, and the test was scheduled for Friday, the 24th. So then Thursday comes around, the 23rd, and I'm feeling so much better. Like, I do feel like a little groggy, like I'm getting over a cold, like I'm getting over a sickness. So I was like, okay, this is good. I felt like I had so much energy. I could actually get up and move around, not walk around and feel like I'm gonna pass out or be dizzy. Compared to Tuesday and Wednesday, I felt great on Thursday. So then when my test came around on Friday, like, I was feeling fine, and I was like, oh, I probably don't even have this virus because I'm feeling way better. So I went Friday morning, took the test. They put the thing inside my nose. It's like literally the most uncomfortable feeling ever. Right after they put the test in my nose, I felt like I was tearing up like a whole lot, and I felt like I was gonna sneeze, and like the doctor was even backing up from the car, which is another weird thing. Well, it's probably not weird now because of this virus, but all the testing is outside. They have the doctors in this tent. All the doctors and nurses and their techs are all huddled up in a little tent, and they come up to your car. They are literally leaning and chilling on your car, like, oh, hey, what's going on? What kind of symptoms do you have? Like, why are you so close to me inside my car? It's so weird. And while the doctor was examining me, like, I was wearing my jacket, my hoodie. He just needed to check my blood pressure with a stethoscope. So he was just doing that everywhere, and he was like, oh, can you take off your jacket? Can you pull your sleeve up? Can you lift up the back of your jacket? Like, it was like the weirdest experience ever. Like, they need to hurry up and open up these hospitals so we can actually go in there, because that was so weird. We had to like go around my seatbelt and everything. Like, it was like seriously so weird. But anyways, that's what the testing site is like. They have to stick a thing inside your nose, then they have to check your blood pressure, everything inside your car, and they have to be checking your blood pressure and everything through the window. They can like, well, I don't know why, but they didn't like open the door and was like, okay, let's do it this way. Like, no, he was reaching in the car through the window, trying to take my blood pressure through my back and on my chest and everything. A very weird experience. But anyways, yes, that was like on Friday. And then Saturday came around. I was fine. I felt great. We had moved into a house a few weeks before all of this, so I was able to start unpacking and getting my house together and getting things the way that I wanted. I couldn't do that when I was first sick. So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was feeling great, cleaning my house, unpacking boxes, moving things, lifting things, felt fine and healthy. And I know that people that have pre-existing conditions that do become positive with this test, I know they can't be doing all these things, you know. But yes, so I was doing all of that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then on Monday, I get a missed call from the doctor's office late, like around 5 o'clock or something. Like, I didn't even know they were open that late. But I got a missed call. I tried to call back, but then they said their office is closed. So on Tuesday, the 28th, I called back the nurse. I said, hi, I'm sorry I missed your call. What's going on? And she was like, oh, I actually called to tell you about your test results. She was like, your test for the COVID-19 was positive. And I was freaking shocked. I was like, what? If I didn't have breathing problems before, I had breathing problems then. No, I'm just joking, but I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I had a positive test. Yeah, I couldn't believe it was positive. She asked me how I was feeling, and I was like, well, I have a little frog in my throat, really. You know, the feeling that you have when you're getting over a cold, like the last few days of a cold, like that's what I felt like. And that's what I told her. That's the only thing. But that was it. I told her I just feel like I have a little frog in my throat, but everything else, like, completely fine. I could do a lot, I feel like. To be honest, I didn't feel like I had the virus at the moment that she called. She asked me, who did I come into contact with? Where have I been? Have I gone anywhere? Have I gone anywhere after I started having symptoms? And I told her, no, I haven't gone anywhere. I've stayed home. Like, I've been unpacking and cleaning my house, you know. I've been doing that. And the only people that I've really come into contact with day to day is my husband and my baby. So I told her just that. And she's like, oh, well, where where does he work? Does the baby go to daycare? And I was like, actually a coworker of his had the virus also. So I asked her, I was like, could I have gotten it that way? She was like, oh no, it doesn't work like that. And I was like, oh, it doesn't? She was like, no. She asked me if I had come into contact with anyone that had a positive result. I said no, because I didn't believe that I came into contact with anyone that was positive. She just said that my husband and my baby, they just need to be self-quarantined for 14 weeks. So they need to stay home. They can't go out anywhere. They can't come into contact with other people just in case they do have the virus and they could pass it on to someone else. When me and her were talking, I also asked, when was I most likely to have contracted this virus? And she said that I most likely got the virus around the 6th or 7th of April. So Monday or Tuesday, the 6th and the 7th of April, I most likely caught the virus then. And she broke it down to me saying that Monday the 6th, I most likely contracted the virus. And then the next week, Monday the 13th, that week, I had the virus, but I was not symptomatic. So I was not showing symptoms, but I did have the virus during that time. And then that following week, Tuesday the 21st, is when I first became symptomatic, where I started showing the symptoms, like I told you guys, where I was feeling dizzy, lightheaded, fatigue, I had the chills, I had a fever, had runny nose, a little cough, and migraines. And then that following week of the 27th to 28th, I was no longer symptomatic, no longer contagious, no longer positive for the virus. She said since I didn't have symptoms for 7 days, that I'm cleared to go back to work. I'm no longer contagious. Just wear the mask day to day and keep up with the routine of social distancing, you know, keeping that 6 feet away from other people. And I was good. I survived. I recovered. I beat the coronavirus. So I did want to add this into the video. Throughout the entire lifetime of my son, I have been breastfeeding him. Even when I was sick with this virus, I was breastfeeding him. And to this day, he is not sick. He has not gotten sick. He has been tested for the virus and it has been negative. So that's great. I did ask the doctor about that. Is there any way that I pass the virus on to him, like through the breast milk or through just being around him throughout the day? The doctor literally told me that she doesn't know. They don't know how he has not gotten sick, how he has not tested positive, how he's not had any fevers, no symptoms at all. My son is still healthy to this day. It has been 3 whole weeks since I was symptomatic with the virus. It has been 2 whole weeks since I've been cleared from this virus. And my husband and my son still no symptoms, no fevers, no coughing, no nothing. Like, they're completely fine. So I don't know how some people can catch the virus and some cannot. Maybe this is what the CDC and the people have been talking about, how children cannot get the virus, or talking about how if they do get the virus, their immune system is strong enough to fight it off. So maybe that's what has happened with them. Maybe my immune system was a little weaker, where I did start to show symptoms and things like that. Just the doctor is not sure if the virus can or cannot pass through breast milk. I find that very weird because when you're pregnant, everyone says how everything you take, the baby takes, everything that you eat, the baby eats, everything that you drink, the baby drinks. So to me, it doesn't make any sense where if I have a virus inside of myself and it's coming out of breast milk and going into my baby, it doesn't make sense that he wouldn't have the virus. If you know more about this specific breast milk, breastfeeding, antibodies, immunity through breast milk and being transferred to babies, please comment down below. Let me know. I would like to know more information about this. I know that this virus is new and there's not a whole lot out there that people really know about, but if you know, please comment down below and let me know what you know. Let's share information with each other so we can all beat this virus, so that we can all overcome this and help each other out together. So for antibodies and immunity and the second wave, I am not 100% sure if I am completely immune to this disease. In the beginning, when this first came up in the United States and everything, they said that once you catch the virus, you won't catch it again. But then they changed it and they said if you did get the virus, you could get it again. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. They keep on saying that there's going to be a second wave a few months from now, like September, October, November, around that time, that there's going to be a second wave. I'm curious, is that going to be with people that already got it? Like, am I safe? I don't know. Is the second wave going to be for those who did not catch it and are healthy right now? You know what I mean? So my doctors and nurses, they didn't really have any information on that. Again, like I said, if you know any information about that, please comment that down below. Let's share this information with each other. Another thing that I want to talk about is this new disease that recently came out on the news, like as of a week ago, about how there is this new inflammatory disease affecting young children, infants, and babies. And that makes me nervous for my 1-year-old. You know, the doctors and everyone on the news is saying how it came from COVID-19 or it's related, or they're saying something like that. Again, I just would like to know, if young children that have had the virus, if they could get this too. I'll make sure that I link that down in the description below and describe what I'm talking about with this disease and how it's related to COVID-19. But they're saying how it's very deadly and contagious for children. They're saying how they've been sent to the hospital because of this virus. But I'll link a video down below of the video that I saw about children with this disease and how they had pictures. There was a video of a young boy who did survive that version of the COVID-19, so I'll make sure that I'll link that video down below if I can find it. I want this video to be a message of hope that even if you test positive for the virus, don't be scared. I would say if you tested positive for this virus and you're in pretty good health, or not even in pretty good health, like I said, I eat fast food. I'm not the healthiest. I don't exercise every day. Like, I'm not the top healthiest person in the world or the most fit, you know, and I survive. So if you are super healthy and you caught the virus, or not as healthy and you tested positive for the virus, there is still a high chance that you could recover from this. So many people have recovered from this. Also, I have seen other YouTube videos about other people talking about their experience with having this virus. I did also want to add that I personally know people that have had the virus, some that have unfortunately passed away, and some that have actually recovered and are still healthy and doing well today. So I would say there definitely is hope for surviving this virus and recovering from it and getting back out into the world and into the economy and getting this world started back again. Also, a tip that I have, just stay inside and just protect your family. If you don't have to go outside, don't go. If you have to go to work, then go to work if you're an essential worker. But if you're not, there's no need to be running out, doing things that you don't need to be doing. You know, try to keep your distance, social distance from people. I live in New York and the cases and the deaths have all started to go down. So this is really good. So I would just say keep on social distancing and just keep each other safe. But that pretty much wraps it up for my video today on how I tested positive and how I survived the COVID-19 coronavirus. So if you have any questions, please comment them down below. I want us to be able to talk about this virus, about my experience. I am going to make an updated video relating to me, my husband, and my baby to see if they have any symptoms after this video or after a week or two from now. So I'm going to be making updates on that in a month after having this virus to see how I am, how I'm healthy, to see if I get this virus again. Hopefully not. And in my updated video, I will be answering your questions about the virus and my symptoms and everything like that. So make sure you ask questions. No question is a stupid question. I still have questions myself, so like I said, let's all talk about this. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed it, found it useful, found it encouraging, found it helpful that people can recover from this crazy crisis. And comment down below any questions that you might have for me, or any questions that you may have about my baby and my experience. And make sure you subscribe. The subscribe button is over here. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.